What's up, YouTube? I got here in the wood shop. Tonight's coming from our other camera that we bought, so it looks a little different. I mean, it should be better quality, nicer camera, but so I guess you'll let me know if you notice a difference. I gotta write a couple notes as I start talking from my phone. I was gonna do a video yesterday, but some things came up, didn't get around to it. We had some celebrating in the house today. I'm officially a grandpa. My daughter gave birth to two beautiful girls, Eliana and Madeline. I don't know. The names are confusing to me for some reason. Can't really grasp it, but I'll figure it out. But they're twins, and they look the same. So it's like tougher because we're like in the hospital. We're just confusing their names anyway. Like when I got there today, nobody knew which one was baby A or baby B. And so we couldn't really tell what their names were. But anyway, enough of that. Celebrating that. So we're also actually, let me get these notes. I can just read them. So I'm also celebrating a personal victory, because I drove by Wawa on my way home today, and my diesel gas or my diesel fuel is up over $6 a gallon, and it's not often in my life that I've been able to say, that how happy I am that I get to spend $6 a gallon, or like $180 to fill my tank so that I can just do my job. It's crazy. Hope you get the sarcasm in that. I'm not really celebrating it. So what else do we have? I guess the big news, and everybody is reporting on it. I'm just gonna give you my little quick spin, or not spin, but my little thoughts on it. The world is on fire right now. Roe versus Wade, potentially it's going to be overturned, which is like, I don't know. It's just because all this is coming out now that I'm really kind of learning about it. I didn't realize that. What are they saying? That basically this decision just takes it back out of the federal hands and puts it back in the state's jurisdiction, and the states can regulate their laws and rules on abortion on a state-by-state basis. I mean, it makes sense to me. That's how the founding fathers wrote the Constitution for it to work. That's why we are the United States of America, because the states are the ones who have the authority and and get to make their laws and whatnot. But I also think that's a slippery slope, and we should be careful with that, because, some people seem to be like all high and mighty, letting the federal government make laws for things that serve their interests. But when it's something that doesn't serve their interests, then they're like, no, they get all libertarian on you, and they want government out of everything. So, but what does that mean? I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I'm 47, and I'd like to tell you that I'm pro-choice. I'd like to tell you that I'm pro-choice. I don't really have a horse in the race for this. I know that there are circumstances and times in that things come up, and abortion is probably necessary. Not ideal, but necessary. And I would hope that they are few and far between. But like just leaving the hospital today and I helped Madeline for about 2 hours. She's 6 pounds. This morning, the last time I saw my daughter this morning at 5:30 when she left to go to the hospital with my other daughter, she was pregnant with twins inside of her. That was at 5:30 a.m. At 5:30 a.m. this morning, in some states, my daughter had the right to choose. I mean, these are the things that that I don't understand. You know, at 5:30 this morning, in certain states like Virginia, my daughter could have chose to end that pregnancy, like they weren't, they weren't lives inside of her. At 5:30 this morning, they were zygotes, right? Isn't that what they're called? People. That's the way that it gets, reported and written. And at 8:15, they were beautiful, healthy baby girls. But so what does that mean? That at 8:13, they were nothing, right? They were mother's choice. I don't know. It's hard to get past that. It really is. I see why abortion is such a slippery slope and such a passionate thing that people fight about. I don't want to be passing laws and making rules for anybody. Like I said, I'd like to tell you, I'd like to consider myself pro-choice, but I think it's a shitty choice. I do. I think it's a shitty choice, and it should be used in rare circumstances. And I, of course, don't have an answer for all those other 1% or 0.5% scenarios that get thrown at us. Like, well, what if she's raped? Or what if it's incest? Or what if the mother's health is at risk? Or what? I mean, I know there's 1,000 what ifs. There's 1,000 scenarios that can go on. But you're talking about 1,000 what ifs in a country of 350 million. So what percentages are we really talking about, For all intents and purposes, this morning when my daughter left the house, they were full-term human beings inside her stomach. No, you can't make that choice. That's not a choice. So, of course, with that, and I'm sure I'll get some flack for this, but, this is what I'm talking about. The world is on fire, and everybody's reporting it, and everybody's talking about it. And it got leaked, which is even worse. First time in history that a Supreme Court decision got leaked this early. And why did it get leaked? Which clerk leaked it, and for what? This is a talking point so that we can ignite the world on fire, and it's a distraction, so that the entire world will be, or the country will be fighting over this Roe versus Wade thing. And meanwhile, our government will just continue to pillage and pass $35 billion aid packages for Ukraine so that they can skim off of it and enrich themselves while we all fight with each other over what do you consider a life in the womb. That's how I see it. I see this, I don't even know why they're voting on it. Why, when you have a Democrat-run executive branch, a Democrat-run Senate, and a Democrat-run House of Representatives, are they voting on the constitutionality of Roe versus Wade? It seems like they needed something to talk about. They need something for the news cycle, more propaganda. So yeah, what else did I say? Diesel. $6 a gallon diesel is right now. So wild. So crazy. Don't even know how, I'm doing 6 jobs right now. And on a daily basis, I gotta drive about probably 50 or 60 miles. Not far, but I got jobs on either end of the island. So I'm north-south. Then I'll come back across the bridge, go into Beach Haven West, or, close to where I live. Maybe run home, because I got jobs over near my house, and so even though everything I do is local, I'm still going through a quarter tank a day. It's killing me. This is so expensive, but I guess that's the distraction that we needed with the Roe versus Wade thing, right? Um, because now no one's talking about inflation. Like, I mean, think about that. I mean, put it together. Yesterday it gets leaked that the Supreme Court is going to overturn the Roe versus Wade decision from like 1979. And then today, well, last week, you had the economy thing come out and said that our gross domestic product is like down 1.4% of where it was predicted to be, even though we're like in the fastest recovery in U.S. history, right? That's what we're being spoon-fed, but all of a sudden nobody cares or like, no, it's not that we don't care, but the Biden administration goes on TV and tells you, oh, we expected this. Yeah, it's just a little hiccup. Yeah, it's just a little hiccup my ass. So the economy's in the toilet. Inflation is through the roof. People can't afford to just live their normal life that they've been living. Not that the last 2 years have been normal in any stretch. I mean, this just seems to continue to compound, and I don't know. I don't see the end of this, But what I do see is, and I'll reiterate, as per my last video, if you think I won't go out and buy every jar of formula to make sure that these girls that I'm gonna be responsible for thrive, you're crazy. I will. Not doing it to resell, to gouge people. I'm doing it to make sure that we got ours. My kids and my grandkids are not gonna starve. They're not gonna go hungry. I didn't work this hard for this many years in my life to let this presidency destroy the way that my American dream was built. It might sound selfish, but it is what it is. But yeah, we got this downturn in economy, which you should have expected anyway, because they've been propping it up for years. And then what's my dude do? I was just going to talk about this. They raised the interest rates again today. And I know now they're saying, I heard somebody who's more financially educated than I am. I heard somebody say that in order to curb inflation, they have to raise interest rates. And I guess the idea of that is when interest rates go up, but I mean, what happens when interest rates go up? Banks stop lending. Banks want to lend, but people stop borrowing. And I guess when people stop borrowing, then that must curb demand on some level. And that's what's going to turn the inflation thing around. So in order to help the economy right now and inflation, we've got to raise interest rates so that people will knowingly not go spend their money and not borrow money, not borrow the equity that's in their house, not buy cars, not get mortgages, not get refinance loans, not do any of that stuff. And somehow that's predicted to curb the inflation and somehow trickle down effect. It's going to fix the price of diesel. Yeah, we'll see about that. I mean, I don't know. Who am I? But yeah, I think it's interesting because we've been talking about this all week. Look at these distractions. I mean, if you put it on paper, if you look at the last 2 years, you got COVID, you got vaccines, you got vaccine mandates, right? Think about all the people that first died, and then the people that refused to get the vaccines, and then it got mandated, and now those people lost their jobs, lost their livelihoods, lost their houses, You've got other diseases, like the bird flu or whatever, the avian flu that's out right now. You've got super high inflation, super high fuel prices. You've got a war in Ukraine that we really should have no role in, right? Even Jerome Powell today blamed inflation on Vladimir Putin, like as though inflation wasn't a thing 11 months ago when he was on TV calling it transitory inflation, right? It was inflation then. That shit didn't have anything to do with Vladimir Putin then. But now all of a sudden, this is Vladimir's price hikes. Giving this man a lot of credit for what? For simply trying to reclaim his sovereignty is what he's trying to do. It's crazy. So, I mean, I guess I don't have a whole lot more. We're about 16 minutes in right now, you know? I just want to talk about a few more minutes maybe of, talk about my life and my health and whatnot. Like, I had a good day today. We got a lot done. My son taped 2 of the jobs that we did today. We put a tub in this morning in a house where we're redoing the bathroom. Hate doing tubs, honestly, but we put a tub in this morning, and then we cement boarded it and prepped it for the tile guy for tomorrow. And then we went over and we cut a door. Well, we took an old door out and put a new door in a house, near where I live. And it was a bigger door than it was there. We took out like an 80-inch by 72-inch Anderson, and we put in a 74.5-inch by 83-inch French door in swing. And it looks really good, and it came out good. I mean, we got to button up the trim and whatnot, but it looks good. But yeah, we videotaped both of those, But yeah, like this is what I do on a daily basis out working, is construction. And I felt good today. I worked, I did all these jobs. Me, my son, and our other employee that works for me. And got a little bit of a cough, still residual. My voice, you can still hear it, a little weak. Sounds a little funny to me. Got a little bit of a Kermit the Frog thing there, which I don't quite understand. But like now it's nighttime, and like I just don't feel 100%. I feel like a little congested. Feel like my chest is a little irritated. And this is where it gets bad for the night for me, During the day I'm fine, but as the day wears on, I get worn out and whatnot. So I'm still working on trying to improve my health, get in better shape. I say I like to be eating healthier, but like right now with these twin girls and my daughter having a C-section and whatnot. Seems that it's going to be a little chaotic in our house for the next few months until we get systems and whatnot, that are necessary for raising twins. It does take me back though. I felt pretty happy and special sitting in the hospital holding them. I love babies, and I'm proud of my daughter. She was scared. And she pushed through, had the C-section today, and I keep joking with her though. I'm like, this is where it all begins. She don't even know, but it reminds me, takes me back to when I was 20, to when she was born. I mean, I've often said this from a joking perspective.